Good morning everyone. Welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS Academy. Welcome to our daily Hindu newspaper analysis. I hope everyone is fit and fine and my voice is audible to everyone, right? Okay. I think everyone, we shall start the session for today, right? Okay. Again, I want to tell you about this course, Ignited Current Affairs course. If you want to avail this course, you can just contact on this number and avail this course where you get a detailed analysis of, let's say, Hindu, the Indian Express, the PIB, down to earth Yojana. Everything would be covered or is covered in this particular course. If you want to avail the course, you can click on this number or you can dial on this number and avail this beautifully crafted course, right? Okay. This has been the main heading for the today, or we could say the headline for today. I think everyone could see 81 crore people to get free food grains for 1 year. Now this is a very interesting thing that has come up. I think you must be knowing, if I am talking about such large proportion of people, that are the 81 crore people. These are the people that are covered under basically one scheme, that is basically National Food Security Act. I hope everyone is aware of this thing about the National Food Security Act. So let me just dwell on this particular topic and give you a brief insight. What is NFSA, how this whole system works, and what are the various provisions that the government wants to state upon on what is basically talking about this 81 crore people, right? Okay. So let me start. I think everyone knows that we have the act called National Food Security Act. It is basically part of our public distribution system, right? Under which it is a whole central, we could say, scheme where subsidized, we could say, food grains are provided to the beneficiaries. Subsidized food grains are provided to the beneficiaries, which are identified under two categories. One are the under Ant Uday Anna Yojana, and the second one is the priority households. Now these are the two type of beneficiaries that we have. We have the Ant Uday Anna Yojana, and second we have the priority households. If I talk about Ant Uday Anna Yojana, these are basically poorest of the poor that get 35 kg of food grains per month per family. And if I talk about priority households, these are basically the people who are identified by the states. Accordingly, they are getting, let's say, 5 kg per person per month. Now this thing you need to remember that there are two types of beneficiaries. One, we have the Ant Uday Anna Yojana, second one is the priority households. Here they are receiving 35 kg food grains per family. Here it is per person per month, that is 5 kg. Under which for rupees 3 per kg, that is for rice, that is, this is for the wheat and this is for the coarse grains like jowar bajra. Now what the government wants to say, that this whole scheme, that is NFSA, where the people are getting this benefits at this nominal amounts of 3 to 1, it would be free for them. Let's say till December 2023, the intended beneficiaries under this particular scheme and this particular scheme, they would be getting absolutely free food grains. Now this thing you need to know, this has been the scheme that has been now enrolled, where the intended beneficiaries would get the free food grains. I hope you are getting my point, what I am trying to say through this particular thing, right? Those covered under National Food Security Act will benefit, center to bear the entire expenses. Whole expense would be now bear by the center. People do not have to pay any amount for receiving the food grains under National Food Security Act, and this estimated expense would be around 2 lakh crore. इसका expense कितना होगा? Around 2 lakh crore, and food minister has termed it as another remarkable decision of the government. Now this is a very big step that has been taken up by the central government. I think everyone must be knowing that during COVID also, apart from National Food Security Act, there was a particular scheme that was enrolled, that was Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, under which all we could say अलग अमाउंट से हमें फूड ग्रेन्स और प्रोवाइड किए जा रहे थे, अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना की, along with this National Food Security Act. But under this now National Food Security Act, they would get free food grains for 1 year for the beneficiaries that are under National Food Security Act, and it is a big news if I talk in terms of center, and if I talk in terms of the beneficiaries, they would be receiving it absolutely free, right? Okay, this National Food Security Act, someone has a question. It was initially started in the year 2013. This thing you need to know, this started in the year 2013, and this free food grains thing would be starting from 1st January 2023. This thing you need to know. I hope this point is clear to everyone, right? Okay. So this was our main headline. Now, I think everyone knows that now COVID thing is now suddenly has a surge, and the center and the states have become, let's say, have recognized this situation and are trying to, let's say, become more active and proactive in their approach in order to offset the loss that could be there due to this new COVID strain that has created havoc in China. So as a result, government is now asking the states as well as the people that they need to get themselves vaccinated. Along with it, if they haven't, let's say, get the booster dose or the precautionary dose, they need to avail that as well. So as a result, Bharat Biotech's nasal COVID vaccine is available as booster. Very important. I think everyone could see, like this is the photo, we could say, or the image of this particular, we could say, intranasal COVID-19 vaccine, and it is basically known as Incovac. very important, इसका एक नाम है, that is Incovac. This is basically intranasal COVID vaccine that could be used as a booster dose, right? Okay. This is basically developed by Hyderabad based Bharat Biotech and US based Washington University, that was approved in November for restricted emergency use for those aged 18 or older. very important, जो 18 साल से ऊपर है वो इस nasal vaccine को use कर सकते हैं as a booster dose, right? This nasal vaccine is approved both as a primary dose and a heterologous booster. इसे आप प्राइमरी डोज की तरह भी यूज कर सकते हो और एक तरह से इसे आप बूस्टर की तरह भी यूज कर सकते हो. नाउ दिस सिचुएशन हैज बिकम very इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज नाउ वी कैन नॉट गो बैक ड्यूरिंग द टाइम्स ऑफ कोविड. द इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ दैट वाज स्टॉल्ड during the time of COVID, we cannot afford that. So government is making every step so that people are aware of the situation, what is prevalent among the, let's say, people and the citizens, and we need to be more aware as well, and we need to show more coordination if we have to, let's say, beat this particular new strains that are coming out of COVID. We do not want situation like China, what has happened in China. We do not want that situation particularly in, let's say, our country. So we are taking extra steps, and those who haven't got this booster dose, I would request everyone on this platform as well, get your booster dose, because it is very important for maintaining your immunity against the COVID, right? So these are the two things that have come on our front page that are very important. One is related to free food beneficiaries would be provided basically to order to handle the food security of the country, right? Okay. Now, this is basically, I think everyone is knowing that there is now increasing demand of reservation that has been going on, let's say, for scheduled caste, for scheduled tribes. Among those, there is a particular community, if I talk about the region of Karnataka, that is basically known as Vocaliga. Very important. It is a Vocaliga community that is basically asking to increase their reservation from 4% to 12%. Very important. They are asking that their reservation shall be increased from 4% to 12% in the state of Karnataka. One thing you need to know that is very, very important, that there are certain subcastes that are not represented properly if I talk about this Vokalige community. Those particular castes are the Kumchitigas, the Bunts and the Reddys. These are three categories that we have under this Vokaliga community. One are the Reddys, one are the Bunts and one are the Kuchitigas. So these are the subsets of the Volca community who were not included in the reservation list of the center. So as a result, the legislator are asking they need to be getting the facilities or the benefits that they deserve. So as a result, they are basically talking about increasing their reservation from 4% to 12%. Now this is a very, very important news and we need to be aware of this particular topic. Rupinder Kaur ji, good morning. Okay, I hope this point is clear to everyone, because now we are seeing that there are various communities that are coming in the newspaper regarding which various laws are passed. So you need to know what are those communities, what are those states under which those particular communities belong to, because you never know, such questions can come in the exams, right? So this was an important thing that you guys need to know. Okay, moving on. Now, this is a very, very interesting article where it says UP and Tamil Nadu struggle with encroachment in centrally protected monuments. I think everyone knows that there are certain centrally protected monuments that are being managed or regulated by Archaeological, we could say, Survey of India, that are being controlled by Archaeological Survey of India, that is ASI. Now, as we are seeing that this particular article is saying that UP and Tamil Nadu are facing the most encroachments. Maybe there are certain things that are being built related to this particularly centrally protected monuments which is not according to the rules of the ASI. As a result, UP and Tamil Nadu are the two states which are facing the most encroachments. One thing you need to know, that if we talk about centrally protected monuments, maximum of them are in Uttar Pradesh. Very, very important. ज़्यादा कहाँ पे हैं? उत्तर प्रदेश में है. India has a total of 3695 centrally protected monuments or sites in the country under the protection of ASI. ASI regulates construction around the protected monuments. Very, very important. It is basically regulating the construction around these monuments through the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 2010. What does this act says? This act says within 100 meters of a protected monument, there shall be no construction. If this is a particular monument, within this 100 meter, there shall be no construction. And beyond 100 to 300 meters, if I talk about, basically, this is the region that is being regulated by the Archaeological Survey of India. So this particular article is saying कि ASI is the body जो ये सब चीजें हैंडल कर रही है related to the construction around the monuments which are basically centrally protected, but UP and Tamil Nadu we have seen a lot of encroachments. So as a result, we need to know what does or how does ASI regulate the construction of the monuments. That is, within 100 meters there is prohibition, and beyond this 100 meters, these are the areas that are being regulated, right? So this was a very, very interesting news that had come up in today's newspaper, right? Today's newspaper is very, very important from these particular facts, because you never know when do you get certain questions in exam related to Archaeological Survey of India, or let's say any fact related to centrally protected monuments, right? So this was a thing that was in the news. Okay, moving on. Now, all is well for MOA makers this winter. Now, this is a particularly, we called it as Joynagar MOA. It is basically a suite that has got or already has a geographical indication tag already. This has already got a geographical indication tag in Kolkata, which was about to end in this particular year, that is in 2022. But why it is in news? Because it has got the extension for another 10 years. It has got the extension, if I talk about, for another 10 years related to this particular suite of this area that is known as Joynagar MOA. अब ये MOA की खासियत क्या है? What is special about this MOA? Now this MOA has a very we could say low shelf life. That means if I have to keep it away from the refrigerator, it could be stored only for 3 to 4 days. After that, it doesn't have its long shelf life, because this particular sweet, its shelf life is very small. It is generally or was generally not exported. इसका इतना एक्सपोर्ट नहीं होता था. If I talk about this particular sweet, इतना इसका एक्सपोर्ट नहीं होता था, बट धीरे धीरे इसका एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ना शुरू हुआ है टू सर्टेन कंट्रीज लाइक बहरेन. To certain countries like Bahrain. So one thing you need to know, this particular sweet is formed or it's found in Kolkata. It already had the GI tag, which has now been extended. It has a very low shelf life. That is why the reason it was not exported, but recently its exports are starting to increase. As we can see, it is being exported to Bahrain, and there is a thing in the future where they are saying they are trying to increase its exports. एक्सपोर्ट्स कैसे बढ़ सकते हैं? एक्सपोर्ट्स बढ़ सकते हैं अगर हम इनकी शेल्फ लाइफ को इंक्रीज कर सकें. If we are able to increase their shelf life, then in the coming future we might be able to increase the exports, right? So let's try to see this Joynagar MOA, the most popular Bengal sweet meat, its geographical indication tag in getting a 10-year extension. Basically, this is a popped rice ball held together with fresh date palm jaggery, said to date back to 1904. It is made up of aromatic khoi mixed with jaggery, sugar, cashew nuts and raisins. Its only drawback is that it has a short shelf life, lasting not more than 5 days without refrigeration. 5 दिन से ज्यादा आप इसको नहीं रख सकते हो अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं if you have to store without refrigeration. That is why its exports were limited, right? So this was the thing that has been in the news that we need to know about, right? I hope this point is clear to everyone, right? Okay. So these were the important news that had come in today's newspaper. We would quickly go down to our editorial page and let's try to see what are the editorials that have come in today's newspaper, right? Okay. One thing you need to know, that there is a problem in India related to cervical cancer that is prevalent among the women. Very important, that is prevalent among the women, that we need to know. अब इसके रिलेटेड अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं सर्वाइकल कैंसर के रिलेटेड, इट इज बेसिकली कॉज्ड बाय अ वायरस बाय द नेम ऑफ HPV. Very important. It is caused by human papilloma virus. Very important. This particular infection, if I talk about cervical cancer, it is caused by this particular, let's say, virus. Now there has been vaccine related to this, and the good news is it is now covered under India's universal immunization program. Very important. Now this particular vaccine has been included under universal immunization program. So one thing this article wants to say, that it is a good thing that it has now come under the universal immunization program, but along with vaccination, screening must be done to detect early signs of HPV. Now this thing is very important for you guys to understand. The major thing related to this particular editorial is, हाँ, वैक्सीन हमने बना दी है, we have included it in our universal immunization program, but the best thing to do is that you have to have a early screening, which is very important if you have to fight this particular cervical cancer that is caused by this HPV virus. I think this is the theme of this article that it wants to highlight. Nothing more apart than this, but you just need to know that cervical cancer is prevalent among the women, and if we talk about mostly among the women of South Asia, right? Okay. Now, coming to the next article, I think you must be knowing that there is a country called Fiji, right? Where it is situated? Can anyone tell me in the comment box? Where is this particular, if I talk about Fiji, where it is located? हाँ जी, जल्दी से बताइए कमेंट बॉक्स में, where it is Fiji is located. Okay, I have got certain response. चलिए ठीक है. Okay. Now there was certain elections that were held in particularly this let's say Fiji. As a result, there is a problem of hung assembly. There is a problem of hung assembly that has come in this particular elections that have come up in this. अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं Fiji parliament में, right? So the ruling prime minister is not willing to lose or vacate his seat and accept the coalition government that is taking the claim to form the government. So as a result, this particular article is trying to say that Bainimarama should accept the results in Fiji and respectfully leave the office. Very very important. जब सामने आपके एक गवर्नमेंट है जो क्लेम कर रही है, तो बेस्ट क्या है कि बेस्ट है कि आप रिस्पेक्टफुली एंड पीसफुली यू शैल मेक श्योर दैट यू वेकेट द office. This is basically what this article wants to say. Nothing more important from our point of view. We just need to be knowing that this Fiji is situated in the Pacific Ocean. Very very important. This Fiji is situated in the Pacific Ocean, right? So this was the theme of this particular article. These two articles are not that much important. These two articles are again saying, let's say, how Shakespeare entered Rajaji's mind and state. Nothing much important from our point of view. Elevating the scourge of private healthcare. So basically here the thing is about, we know that the government expenditure as a proportion of GDP towards health is not that much. Majority health services are brought about the private sector. So this particular article is saying, if the services are provided by the private sector, but they are not that much affordable and reliable. So we need to be made sure that if the private sector is providing the healthcare facilities, it shall be affordable. It shall be affordable. This is the basically theme of the article. Nothing more to dwell on this particular article. Nothing that much important from our examination or from our preparation. You just need to know related to this fact that अगर इंडिया का पब्लिक हेल्थ एक्सपेंडिचर देखें, इट इज अराउंड 1.28% ऑफ जीडीपी. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. If I talk about share of general government expenditure dedicated to health remain akin to the poorest countries. It is somehow that is in par with the poorest countries. So that is not a good news if we talk from government point of view, right? So this was a basic theme of the article. No need to focus that much upon this particular topic, right? Then we have already discussed all these things, right? Nothing that much important here. We have discussed is UP, Tamil Nadu. ठीक है? I think we have already covered this particular news. Initially, government is not in the favor to give SC status to those persons who are, let's say, converted from their Dalit category and have converted to Christians and Muslims. So there has been a petitions that have been variously going on related to giving the SC status. But if we talk about stance of the government and the petitions that are pending, there is a huge difference if we talk about this particular situation, whether basically this people, Dalit people who have converted themselves, shall be given the SC status or not. So this is the thing that you guys need to be aware of about the situations that have been going on. So nothing much to dwell upon this particular topic, and it is not that much, we could say, relevant as well, right? Okay. This is our world affairs page. Now, this is the thing that could be worrisome for the world, because I think everyone knows that there has been a price cap imposed on the oil imports from Russia at $60 per barrel. as a result, Russia is now saying in the coming future, it could reduce its output. Very, very important. It may cut oil output post price cap. Very, very important. If this thing happens, it could have serious implications on the oil supplies throughout the world, and it could result in inflation. This thing you guys need to know could be worrisome factor for the world if the oil supplies are cut. Why Russia would be doing that? Because if it is not getting the right price, then its cost of production is increasing and it is not getting the required benefits or the required profits. So as a result, somehow Russia has, let's say, thrown a carrot where it is saying it might reduce the oil output post price cap. This thing you need to know about, what could be the scenario that could happen in the future related to this particular thing, right? Okay. Nothing more here. Then we had our economics page. Nothing more important here. And finally, everywhere we see there is the thing called Messi, the immortal genius, right? You need to be aware about the sports page as well, because after, let's say, 1986, Argentina defeated Mexico. Now they have defeated France in 2022 and became the world champion. So this is the thing that you guys need to know. So there were few important news from today's newspaper. If I have to sum it up, one was under NFSA, there would be free supply of food grains to the beneficiaries. Then there is intranasal vaccine, that is Incovac, that is basically saying that it could be taken through nasal spray, right? This was the important news. And then we had the encroachment thing about UP and Tamil Nadu, that how these centrally protected monuments are managed. They are managed by Archaeological Survey of India. And then we had the basically the suite that is had the geographical indication tag already, which has got extended by 10 years, right? So that is our MOA, that suite basically from the Kolkata region, right? So these were the certain important news. Along with it, we have the cervical cancer and its vaccine and its inclusion in basically universal immunization program. And if we talk about the world affairs, then we have the news about, let's say, Fiji Prime Minister not leaving to vacate its office because of the hung assembly situation. And along with it, we have this problem that could come in the future related to inflation. If Russia reduce its oil output, it could have various measures or implications related to supply of oil throughout the world, and it could have a serious implications in India as well if we talk about problem of inflation, right? So this was it, guys, for today's newspaper. I hope you were able to enjoy the session and understand what I'm trying to say. So guys, this is it from me. So take care, have we could say stay healthy, and along with it we would see each other on Monday at 9 AM same time again with our analysis of our Hindu newspaper. So till then, goodbye, take care, thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you have any questions related to it, you can ask me. Related to Hindu newspaper, if you have any question, you can ask me freely. No need to worry upon that thing. Okay, guys. I'm ending the session. See you on Monday. Thank you.